Fantasy Footballers Sunday Live.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was just watching that game. Welcome to Sunday Live, everybody. I set an alarm clock for that game. Are we still at? What are we at? Are we at 10-11?
I'll double check.
Okay.
I think, last I saw you.
Last I saw, Denver Broncos second half have put up 3 3-and-outs, a safety. Justin Fields has approximately 40 passing yards. Garrett Wilson cannot get anything done against Pat Surtain. I apologize. I apologize to everyone, including myself, who made watching this football game a priority. But you know what? We're into the main slate. Welcome into Sunday Live. Thank you so much for joining me. It's me, Mike. I'm back from the Fantasy Footballers podcast. I got my best friend today, the Owl.
What's up, best friend?
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I'd be doing a lot better if I didn't have Cortland Sutton and Garrett Wilson in my league of record. So
yeah, that's rough.
So yeah. But what are you gonna do? Hey, thank you so much for joining me. We got a lot to talk about. If you've been paying attention to the news, there's been a lot of movers and shakers. If you haven't, well, then good for you for tuning in because we're going to talk about it.
The big picture.
All right, at the quarterback position, Lamar is out. We expected that. Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals will not be playing today with that foot injury. There's also some other stuff going on with the Cardinals I'll talk about in just a moment. Brock Purdy will be out for the 49ers. Mac Jones is expected to take the start. Alvin Kamara is going to play. You know, we had kind of a limited practice, all week long. There was some of the trade rumors. Those have been, at least for now, put to sleep, as the reporting we're getting is that Alvin Kamara does not want to leave the team. We will see. Chuba Hubbard will be out for the Panthers. Rico Dowdle in the revenge game in a very, very good position. Bucky Irving remains out. Miles Sanders of the Dallas Cowboys was put onto the IR. If Jaden Blue happens to be floating around in your waiver wire, you may want to throw him on the bench just in case. Always good to have those backups, especially backups who Jaden Blue has juice. Javonte is not losing his job, but you got to have backup plans. Chris Rodriguez is questionable. Then here we go. Bam Knight. Bam! The Arizona Cardinals. Look, I know Michael Carter didn't put up particularly great stats. He worked out for fantasy football. He was the starter for the Arizona Cardinals. I guess they did not like it, and they're going to go with Bam Knight as the per Schefter, I should say. Now, what does this do for fantasy football? I mean, I'm not playing Michael Carter if I have him. I don't know that I'm playing Bam Knight, honestly. I'm going to pick him up and put him on the bench and just see what happens, as Trey Benson still will have a couple more weeks while he is on IR before he is eligible to return. I mean, he was also a meniscus cleanup, so his was like a 5 to 6 weeks. So there's still going to be some time that the Cardinals have to find a starting running back. Maybe it's Bam Knight. I'm not playing him. I'm not. I wouldn't do it. At the wide receiver position, Zay Flowers is going to be in. We did get a report, though, that he will be limited. He may not play all of his snaps. Lamar's not playing. It's not the greatest situation here for Zay Flowers. Huge. Quinn Johnston's going to be out. That is a bummer, but Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey, let's see what they can do while Quinn Johnston's not taking all those targets. For the Bucs, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are both out. Emeka Egbuka, or I don't know where that button is. If you got it back, our friend Grunk.
Emeka Egbuka.
That's the one. That's the one. That is funny every time. There was a pretty nice, fun video of Gronk talking to Egbuka about the mishap. It was heartwarming, and apparently Gronk had a guy in his high school who had a last name similar to that. So that's the story, anyways. Let's see. We got a bunch of outs. Darnell Mooney will be out. Pearsall remains out for the 49ers. CeeDee Lamb, still another week. Jerry McLaurin will not be playing yet again. Jamar Chase, who popped up with a sickness, is expected to play. Juwan Jennings, 49ers expected to play. He's playable. It's a sketchy situation, but he is playable. And then Debo, he's listed as questionable. But the reports I saw, at least yesterday, were saying he's more of a game-time decision. I think with this heel thing, it sounds like that is bothering him. So you need to be paying attention to that. I do not have any further updates for you other than it sounds like he truly is a game-time decision. Brock Bowers, Jatavian Sanders, they remain out at the tight end position. Dalton Kincaid is questionable. If you remember, he was in the non-contact jersey. And then Colston Loveland of the Chicago Bears is listed as questionable. Colston Loveland, I wouldn't mind throwing him on the back of my bench and just seeing how things shake out as they try and get the number 10 overall pick, worked in. Weather-wise, because that's where we are. Arizona's getting some crazy rain right now. Weather-wise, the two games to pay attention to. So we have the Los Angeles Rams at Baltimore. Their light rain, on and off type of a thing, do have some winds. The winds are the more concerning part for deep passing. And then Dallas at Carolina, kind of almost an exact same thing of, on and off against showers. Reports of sustained winds with some pretty heavy gusts. The wise guys, the lines, so the line for the Cowboys, Panthers is still sitting at a real healthy 47.5. And then the Rams is at 43.5, which is actually for today's slate is pretty low. There's only two other games under that. As long as you don't count the Denver Broncos and the Jets. Oh, man.
Big update on that game.
Oh, what do we got?
Still 10-11.
Oh, man.
About 8 minutes left.
Oh. So I'm not going to shy away from those games based off of the weather reporting and the people that I trust who are talking about those things. Maybe it can be a tiebreaker for you. It stinks that Stafford is in such a good position. The Dallas and Carolina guys are in such a good position. I don't think I'm going to move off of them. But thank you for joining me. If you never joined us before, we go over the news. The Start-Sit tool on thefantasyfootballers.com. It's available for you right now. It is free to use. And in that, we give you some variables of what goes into the process of what we're thinking to help you make the best decision that you can make for your fantasy football team. We do pay attention, and we track who are the hot players being asked about, because every single week there are definitely a handful of players who really stand out. Jeremy, is the computer got all the information? Okay. I don't even know who's hot right now, so this will be fun.
He's so hot right now.
All right. Who's hot? Who's getting asked about?
It's funny that you say that because it's overwhelmingly Michael Carter. But
don't.
But you pretty much cleared that up. So
don't. You give me a couple names just to.
Let me go back to that. It was like Michael Carter. I saw Derrick Henry or Michael Carter. Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, Travion Henderson.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
That's where we were at. Would you play Bam in any of those situations?
No, not over those guys. I know we kind of,
What about Haskins?
Okay, yeah, the Haskins thing. I should talk about the report that we got was Hassan Haskins is expected to be the starter for the Chargers. Now, throughout the week, we had that quote from Harbaugh that said Haskins and Vidal Sassoon they both have earned opportunities. Now, I believe Nyheim Hines is active, and he's good at what he does. He's good at being a third down back, so that has me a little more skeptical of Vidal, especially with the report that Haskins is the guy. We're saying on the show, I don't know for sure who's going to be it. Haskins probably is the first guy up based off of the usage that we saw last week. Couldn't feel 100% confident with it. A little more confident with it this morning. I would play Haskins over Michael Carter, but not those other guys. And I know we're a little pessimistic on Derrick Henry this week against the Rams with no Lamar and everything. Just the way that when game script goes bad for Henry and the Ravens, they go to Justice Hill. Not my football team. But I'm not the Michael Carter leveler. Derrick Henry is just inside of my top 24 at the moment. All right, okay. So who else?
We'll get back to Haskins. We got some more on him in a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go to the wide receivers real quick. Jamison Williams or Matthew Golden?
Okay, that makes sense. The Packers are in that delightful situation where they were playing the Cincinnati Bengals, and multiple guys on that team they should have a really good game. J-Mo's in that really high over-under at Kansas City. It's been brutal. I mean, to be fair, it's been brutal for both guys. So because the Matthew Golden option doesn't wow me, and I'm not like overly eager to get him into the lineup, I mean, man, I like that matchup a lot. But Jameson Williams is the path that I would go. The targets they are still there. The peripherals, trust the process. Everyone is gonna hit. But if they were both on my team, I would play Jameson Williams.
Bo Nix targeted Cortland Sutton in the end zone, incomplete, and now they just got a field goal. Just
that would have been real cool
there
for my team.
Yeah,
that would have been a lot of points. Okay, cool.
All right, Juwan Jennings or Kendrick Bourne. Jennings is playing Tampa Bay.
They both are.
Yes.
They both are.
Yes,
that is a tough call. Look, Jennings is higher up on the depth chart. Now, last week when we had Kendrick Bourne had his explosion, Kendrick Bourne's a fine player. He can do this from time to time. Demarcus Robinson ran more routes than him. It was just the ball found Kendrick Bourne. Now, because the ball found him, does that increase his opportunity? How healthy is Juwan Jennings? If everyone's healthy and good to go, it's easily Juwan Jennings over Kendrick Bourne for me. But I don't know how healthy he is, so I think I'd play Kendrick Bourne right there, but not super confident about it.
All right, last question at the wide receiver position. Are you starting Keenan Allen at Miami or DK Metcalf versus Cleveland?
Okay, that is a fair question. The Huge being out makes a difference here, and that is going to be my tiebreaker. I'm going to put Keenan Allen in. Metcalf is strange. I mean, the Jaylen Warren is back. If you did not hear that news, he's back. He's healthy. He's off the injury report, all those things. He should go right back into being the workhorse. Apologies if you were hoping that you could play Kenny Gainwell one more week. But the matchup is, if the offense is going to have success, talking about Pittsburgh, it has to come through the air. They're not going to be able to run on the Cleveland Browns. So it's not that I'm off of DK Metcalf, but Keenan Allen has been playing well, and he is also – the Miami Dolphins matchup is fantastic for our offenses, so I'm going to go that direction.
All right, let's move over to the running backs. I think the biggest question I'm seeing, or the most popular question, is Bill Krosky-Merritt or Quinshon Judkins.
Oh, ooh, wow. Okay, so just looking at my rankings, they are 2 spots apart, so that's nothingness. Another quote from Kingsbury talking about Bill, and that it's the stuff when he doesn't have the ball. They still are trying to work that up. So for those who, when you see Bill touch the ball and electric things happen, and then he's not on the field, well, that's why, because they need the complete part of the game for him. But I do think that last week's performance gets Bill more work. Judkins is just so solid. Does he truly have the upside on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have been playing better on defense? I think Judkins is a better floor type of a play. If you're trying to get 2 touchdowns, I would think that that's more likely to end up on the Bill Krosky side of things. So, matchup matters in this type of a decision, but I think I would play Bill. At the end of the day, I would play. Thank you. If I had them both, I'd play Bill.
All right, sticking on Quinshon Judkins for just a second. Are you starting him or Rico Dowdle?
Rico. I'm playing Rico. Come on. I mean, we got to live a little bit. We got to have some fun. Fantasy football is made to be fun, and Rico Dowdle off a 200-yard performance. Okay, well, but now that I'm through the fun part of it, okay, the Panthers' offensive line is pretty beat up. I think what did we hear? They were missing 3 starters after we tracked down.
I believe that's true. Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty tough. That is pretty tough, but I think I'd still play Rico. Dallas their defense is just perfect for what we need for fantasy football, but If I had them both, I'd play Rico. Man. And then now it sounds like I don't want to play Judkins this week, which is completely not true. All right, who's next?
All right, we're going to get to that Hassan Haskins situation here. Are you starting him or Travion Henderson?
I would play Henderson. I know Ramondre. People want to play Ramondre ahead of. Well, they don't want to. We should be playing Ramondre ahead of Henderson, at least for the time being. But I do think that the work is going to go up with Antonio Gibson out for the season with the ACL. Not that Gibson was taking a lot of opportunities, but I mean, you take a handful of opportunities and you give Henderson at least half of them. Now we're cooking. If we can get Trevo up to 10 plus opportunities on the week, and the Haskins thing is break glass. He's not. Henderson's good. Hassan Haskins, I think he's just kind of a replacement level type of a running back. So I'd put some juice in the lineup.
All right, and one more that's a little bit nasty. Are you starting Hassan Haskins or Kamani Vidal?
Yeah, between the two of them, I'm going to go with Haskins. The like I said, Hines being around worries me a little bit for Vidal. Because Hines he's a veteran. You could kind of plug him in. Vidal has had his chances to get on the field, and he hasn't been able to do it. So between those two, I'm definitely going to go with Haskins.
All right. Let's get over to the tight ends. Are you starting Tucker Kraft or Darren Waller?
What a crazy good problem to have. I'm going to stick with Tucker Kraft this week. The Cincinnati Bengals matchup really helps make that decision easier. I know Waller is dominating. He's still ramping up the snaps. Great problem to have, but between the two of them, I would go with Tucker Kraft.
All right. A little deeper at the tight end position, Jake Tonjes, McBasketball, or Juwan Johnson?
Okay. That one is tougher. That one is nasty. Juwan, of course, both are starts of the week. Mine was Tonjes, but that was more of a situation of like you're trying to stream. I think Juwan, you got to give him at least one more week. I know the past two have been disappointing, but he's still. It's not that he's not on the field. It just what Rattler hit Shaheed for a deep play. There's a whole drive of targets that are evaporated for Juwan Johnson. Give Juwan one more week. If it's a disappointing third week in a row, then I think we can officially move on.
All right, and we'll just wrap it around a couple quick quarterbacks here. Bryce Young or Mac Jones? Bryce is facing Dallas,
right.
Mac facing Tampa Bay.
I really want to say Bryce Young there, but Mac Jones it's sketchy because of the injury. I will say that obviously not one good hit because Mac Jones can lay on the field for 5 minutes and just get a quick snooze in and jump up and be like, what? No, I'm not hurt at all. Everything's okay. So I think Mac Jones is the better play, but he comes with risk.
All right. Are you starting Laser Mayfield or Jaden Daniels?
I would start I'd start Jaden against Chicago. Jaden's been pretty disappointing, but Chicago, this could be a get-right game for him.
All right, and last one at the quarterback position. Are you starting Matthew Stafford or Trevor Lawrence?
I would go for the upside of Stafford. I laid out the weather situation for it. It's a perfect fantasy situation for Matthew Stafford, other than the weather. But I don't think the weather should scare us off.
All right, Mike, that's going to do it. Yes, sir.
All right, but hey, before we get to the people, let's take a quick second to thank our sponsor, Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's is here to keep you fueled through Sunday football. They just rolled out their toasted sandwiches last year, but they couldn't stop there. Now in a limited time offer, Jimmy John's is bringing you pizza sandwiches available in 2 flavors. Enjoy a melty combination of Parmesan, provolone, and mozzarella cheese spread with marinara and oregano basil on perfectly toasted French bread with their 3-cheese pizza sandwich. We got some of these pizza sandwiches in the office just the other week. They're good. They're good. They are as advertised. Look, if you need something with a bit more protein, try the Sicilian pizza sandwich layered with salami, capicola, and ham. Am I saying that right?
I think you nailed it.
All right. And, of course, I don't know. I feel like I've read that word a lot, and I've never had to say it. Of course, spread with deliciously melted mozzarella cheese, oregano, basil on freshly toasted French bread. Oh, that's good. Jimmy John's new toasted pizza sandwich is available in 2 flavors. 3 cheese pizza sandwich and Sicilian pizza sandwich at participating locations for a limited time while supplies last. Let's get to the people.
Stardom, set 'em.
All right, oh, wait, did Cortland Sutton score?
He sure did not.
Oh, yeah.
The Jets are driving down, looking like maybe a game-winning field goal for the Jets, possibly. Oh no! Justin Fields fumbled, but possession was retained by the Jets. Is what I'm saying.
All right, here we go. Devin wants to know Travis Etienne or Chase Brown. Travis Etienne and the Jags are playing good football. Chase Brown and the Bengals are not. I will stick with Travis Etienne there. Akiva says Kelsey or Waller. Wow. I think we are at the point, though, where I would play Waller over Travis Kelsey. I mean, I kind of want some pieces of that Chiefs game tonight, but I would move on. James says Zay Flowers or Sterling Shepard PPR. So at that level of a replacement player, I would just stick with Zay Flowers personally. It's a sketchy situation, but I would roll with it. All right. John says Tua or Jacoby beef brisket Brissett. I'm not going to put Jacoby out there. You can't make me do it. So I'm going to go. Tua's playing okay, man. He's got a couple games where just like the Waller addition. The Waller addition to the Miami Dolphins could be like Tua might end up back in a situation where we're just very comfortable playing him. So I roll with him this week. Let's see. PPR, Brian Thomas Jr. or Bill Krosky. Oh, man, the PPR makes that a little tougher. Brian Thomas Jr. is maybe getting things fixed out. Last week was okay. I'm gonna play Bill. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna play Bill. Let's see. Lucas says Henry or Ladd PPR. Is this Hunter Henry? Is this Derrick Henry? Which Henry is this, Lucas? I don't know. What do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with Ladd because I don't. I mean, look, either way, I'll give you both. I'll say Derrick Henry or Ladd. PPR, give me Ladd. Hunter Henry or Ladd, PPR, I'll go with Ladd. Was there a Henry I missed? Probably. But what do you got? Time to Pete. Henry or Higgins? Guys, it doesn't cost you anything else to click a few more letters in there. There's multiple people named Henry. So I guess Higgins? Come on, y'all, you're killing me. Let's see. We got Lori says Waller or Brian Thomas Jr. Oh man, the Waller hype. The Waller hype is building. I'd go Brian Thomas. Would I? I might. I think I'd play Waller. Goodness gracious. The world that we live in, we're playing Darren Waller over Brian Thomas Jr. That one feels rough. Oh, here we go, Sean. Michael Carter or Kimani Vidal? Now we're talking. That's a Sunday morning question. I think I would go Carter there. The reports from Shefty are that it's going to happen, but
so if that was your choice and Bam was on your wire, would you go grab him and start him?
Yeah, I think I would. Thank you for filling in the gaps there. I think I might go get Bam. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. You will not feel good. Let's see. Jason says Brian Thomas Jr. or Ken Bone Walker. We got a half-point scoring format. I would go with Brian Thomas Jr. in that situation. The Seahawks running back room, man, it's frustrating. Have Kenneth Walker just dominating, and then you're like, oh, hey, touchdown. Charbs, why don't you come in and steal those points? Let's see, next one. James says James Cook or Rashad White. Ooh. Rachaad White got all the work. We thought maybe Sean Tucker would be involved, but he was not. It was all back to the Rachaad White show. I'm going to stick with James Cook, though. I'm gonna put the talented guy in there. More talented guy. Sorry, Rachaad White. Let's see. Cardboard Collaborative says Rico or Rachaad White in a full PPR. Okay, then if full PPR, White over Rico, I get that one. I would do that as well. We're running up against the clock here. Got to get back into the lab, get the rankings where they need to be. Half PPR, Jaylen Warren or Swift. Swift is frequently disappointing, but given the matchup in the first week back, I would play Swift over Jaylen Warren this week. And then let's say, Corey with a Nasty Boys question. Can't miss this. We got Chisholm or Xavier Legette. Thank you. I would go with Legette if that was the case. It's a good game environment, if nothing else. And then let's see here, last one. Joe says, Joe. Jamar Chase or DK Metcalf. I'll play Chase against Green Bay. I'll do it. Hopefully Joe Flacco can operate. He won't be able to, but we can still hope. Look, DK Metcalf's not getting overwhelmed with targets. The DK Metcalf situation is insane. To give him all that money and give him 22% of your targets, I don't get it. And it's not Rodgers-like at all. That was the bet. Currently, we are losing that bet that Aaron Rodgers would hyper-target DK Metcalf. That's going to do it, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Going to get back there, thefantasyfootballers.com. That's where all the rankings are. They will be updated over the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep it beautiful. See you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye-bye.